This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie. And
we love movies.
And as we've said previously, television shows, we love Marvel, everything that Marvel is doing. And we get sucked into the whole Disney thing. Oh, and of course we love JB.
Yeah, everybody gets sucked into this thing, including my cat JB. But what a season series finale for Wandavision.
Yeah.
This whole episode is going to be dedicated to Wandavision because it was such a big deal, and there's so much in the future that it's laid out and kind of hinting at. So buckle up, because if you haven't watched Wandavision, put this on pause, watch the last episode, and then come back here and talk to us.
Yeah.
But before you do that, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, please subscribe, please give us a follow. You can also listen to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and they can follow us elsewhere.
Right. We're also affiliated with WBZ News Radio in Boston. If you go to the WBZ News Radio page and look under podcasts, we're right there. Like you said, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We try to post there. We love to talk to people. So drop us a line. Talk to us about theories and stuff, and we'll tell you why you're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
We have all the answers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and we got a lot of answers. We've been getting a lot of answers recently with the series WandaVision wrapping up, and the last episode was this past Friday. And just kind of your initial thoughts on the series as a whole, and then we can go into what we liked and what we didn't like so much.
Well, James, it was so much more than I was expecting. It was so much more. When going into it, we're like, oh my God, it's just like weird television shows and different eras, and we don't know what's going on and what's happening with Vision. And I didn't really like this couple to begin with. Like, I didn't really get the chemistry, what was going on there. And we have been delivered so much. This is like a building block for the future of the next few phases of the MCU and all of the movies that are going to follow. It is just brilliant. Like, just besides being a good show to watch, it is just it's brilliant storytelling and story mapping, and no one does it better than the MCU. They really don't. They're bringing the quality of the films to television, to the streaming services, and it's something new. It's something we haven't really seen before, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, James. I'm here for it every day. So my initial reaction to the actual finale, I give it let me give it a 8 out of 10 shirtless Kylo Rens.
Yeah.
My meter keeps changing.
I would give it 7.58 for a series finale.
Yeah.
I would give it maybe an 8.5, maybe 9 for the entire series. I too loved this. Was not expecting. No one had any idea what this show was going to be like. How Vision was brought back to life. Everything was a big mystery, and I did like in the very beginning, the first 3 episodes, it kept to that mystery. But as for a whole, I thought the series, this is not a perfect series, but it's some of the best MCU work I've seen over the past 10 years, and that says a lot considering the past Avengers movies and some of the great, obviously, standalone movies.
Yeah.
But this is some of the best MCU storytelling and acting, especially. That we've seen throughout this entire thing, and that relies heavily on Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany. 2 of the biggest or best things about this show are those 2, and even more kudos to Elizabeth Olsen, because I think this entire show is really on her shoulders, and she nails it. Every emotion, every genre, every period, perfectly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know what's a benefit to having this be like an 8-9 episode kind of series is that you get to do things here that you don't get to do in the movies, James. You get to go into the minutia. You get to explore new characters. You get to kind of weave in more of the mythology here and more from the comics and stuff that you get. It's just so much more robust. And yes, the acting is incredible. The people that they brought in. Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, amazing. But my favorite person to come out of the show was the Agatha actress. The Agatha.
Catherine Hahn.
Oh my goodness, do I love everything that she does. Like just her exaggerated facial expressions and just everything that she brings to the dynamics of this character. Oh my God, I loved it so much.
And yeah, I love her too. She is one of the most fun parts of the show.
Yes,
yeah.
What a range. Yes, she's very, very fun. But here in the finale, she gets to be serious and she gets to be hardcore in this battle with Wanda. So why don't we just kind of get into the details of what happened here and we can start picking it apart.
Yeah, so basically we start off right where we left off in the last episode, where we have Agatha. She's holding both Billy and Tommy with this magical rope, this noose, and Wanda, she says, you realize out here my magic, my powers work, and Agatha says, she's counting on it because I think she wants
to absorb it.
To be, yeah. She wants to absorb all of her power, and she wants Wanda to be at her most powerful to be able to suck all that power out. So I think that she was trying to obviously make her very angry, and it worked. And at first, we find out that, yes, Agatha wants Wanda to hit her with her magic because she can absorb it easier. Yeah. And then Wanda catches on very quickly, and I thought it was very smart and a good callback to Avengers Civil War, where she uses a car, her surroundings, to throw it at Agatha. And then we had that fun Wizard of Oz joke with her boots underneath the car.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious, yeah.
Yeah, and so the battle continues, and then that's when we're introduced to White Vision. He was activated in the last episode, and now we see him. His objective is to kill Vision and Wanda. Wanda, of course, doesn't know this. She's asking, are you the real Vision? Because it's him. It's his physical form. It's his physical body. But nope. After pretending to caress her hair lovingly, he attempts to kill her. But then the soul of Vision, I'll call him. He comes swooping in, and they both, they say, "This is our home. This is our last stand. We're fighting for this," and that's what they do. And this big fight ensues. And I've been hearing mixed things about it. I've heard, there were. I'm not sure if you heard the complaints of every superhero movie has a sky beam or lasers and all these shows and stuff. And I've heard complaints saying, well, the show
is that a problem? Is that a real problem? Like, that's what makes it fun. Come on.
Exactly. And so I have no complaints with the fight scene at all. The complaints are primarily with the people who were saying WandaVision is so separate of the MCU, the rest of the MCU of itself, besides for the other groundwork, that the fun of it is so separate from what we've seen with these big fights. Yeah. They feel that a big fight was needed because this is the final episode, kind of like the movies, where there has to be a big boss battle. And so that's some of the complaints I've heard. I don't agree with that. I thought it was very fun. I really enjoyed Vision versus Vision.
Yeah, no, I mean, speaking of Vision versus Vision, I mean, yes, you have to have that major battle, but guess what? The Vision versus Vision didn't end with them beating the crap out of each other. It ended with a battle of the wits. It ended with a battle of philosophy. So they were evenly matched physically when, non-corporeal Vision, that is what I'm going to call him, is talking to corporeal Vision, is like, look, I'm not the original Vision. You're not the original Vision. So this is not really your prime objective here because, we're both parts of what was an original. And I love that. I just love character building. And so corporeal Vision allows non-corporeal Vision, like the soul of Vision, the body of Vision allows the soul of Vision to touch his head and he regains his memories. So he regains all of his memories. He knows that he's being manipulated, but he doesn't have the Mind Stone. So he's still not, the exact original Vision that was Wanda's Vision. And then you have the soul of Vision, who is that, we learn, is that piece of the Mind Stone that lives inside of Wanda. We discover that about him, and he returns to her, and it's just really beautiful because even though at the end, like, he kind of gets reabsorbed into her, they say, we will be back together again. Like, we will see each other again in one way or another. We've had to say goodbye 3 times now. We'll definitely be able to get to say hello again. So I really wanted to see, like, corporeal both Vision merge. I wanted to see them put together here, but I think that that's something that maybe they're saving for the future. I think that that's definitely going to be a moment that to attain. That's a goal, is to put these two together so that we have the original Vision back. But I don't know how much of the Mind Stone still lives inside of Wanda. But yes, I loved that part. Do you have other favorite moments?
Yeah.
from it?
Lastly, touching back on the Vision Vision fight, I do love. There's the Spider-Man meme where there are two cartoon Spider-Men pointing at each other. There now you've probably seen the meme. I'll show it right here. But the two Visions pointing at each other again. You're the Vision. You're Vision. That's funny. The memes are great. I really liked. Let's see. I like the family. The entire family with Bobby and Tommy. Sorry. Billy and Tommy. They got their Incredibles family moment where they got to pose and get ready for battle.
Yeah.
So that was fun. They got to beat up soldiers,
Yes.
military police, sword agents. So
like,
that was fun.
Kids, take care of the military. Take care of the military for mommy. They're like,
you got this.
Yeah,
I like Haywood. He got arrested as he should have, but I also heard complaints, or not complaints really per se, but Haywood, he's the one that's ultimately held accountable because Wanda, she leaves, and Catherine Hahn, Agnes, she's under control of Wanda's spell, so somebody needs to go to jail, and it's Haywood, and people felt him just shooting at the kids was kind of like the ultimate like evil villain, mustache twirling, that went over the top. That he's just like, he's just one of those villains now. So some people had issue that he shot at the kids. You can argue he thought the kids were not real, but still, why shoot at anyway? So there's that. But so somebody had to go to jail. Wanda, I have mixed feelings about her kind of being able to leave. Even though everything that happened was spurred on by grief and loss and personal torture, and she did not ask or really know she was going to be able to create this world in this hex. She still hurt a lot of people. Like everybody in that town, they were under her control, and they were feeling pain and terror that entire time. But all Wanda gets is a death stare by the whole town, and then she leaves.
Who's gonna stop her?
No one's gonna stop her. That's not the point. But like that's I have mixed feelings on that. Maybe she'll try to redeem. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like
she didn't really redeem herself.
I feel like they redeemed her a little bit in that very intense moment where Agatha like releases a bunch of the townspeople and they're surrounding her. And they're like, let us go. Like, I really think she didn't know that she was torturing these people. She's like, no, you're at peace. You're at peace. You don't feel these things. Like, so I think in that way they kind of redeemed her character a little bit in that, she didn't intend to hurt these people. She didn't know that she was hurting these people. However, she did know that she had kidnapped them. And she's like, she thought that she had just mind controlled them so that they all live in like blissful ignorance. But that's not cool either. That's not cool either. But it's all over now, and it's about coming to terms with her grief and having that realization and that actualization at the end where she's able to actually let go without it destroying her and her being able to move on. I love how the whole show is this fabulous metaphor for dealing with grief. And there was the wonderful quote from Vision in the last episode, or a couple episodes ago, like what is grief if not love persevering? So I love that. I love that that's such a strong theme, and it was so well done, because I think it's very easy to not do it well, to really mess that up. That
ending between Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany of Wanda and Vision was perfect. Again, more beautiful words spoken to two people who are truly in love with each other, and no, this is it can't continue, and they must separate again, but with the hope that once again they will say hello again and see each other. But yeah, it's a great episode. Showing, if everybody had powers, this may be the world we live in, where people's realities get torn apart because grief is such a real, painful thing. And if you had powers and you couldn't control them, you can't blame too many people reacting the way that Wanda did.
Which is what Monica Rambeau essentially says to Wanda at the end there. Is there anything that disappointed you? Because there's a couple of things that, I kind of wanted to see and didn't see, but is there anything that disappointed you?
The biggest thing was, for me and for a lot of people out there, was the whole Quicksilver, Evan Peters. He is not It appears as it appears very clearly right now that he is not the Quicksilver from the Fox Studios multiverse, and so he's this guy, this actor named Ralph Boner, and that was very disappointing considering everything that we know about where the direction of the MCU, where it's going, and everything that was included in Marvel or in the MCU and in WandaVision, casting Evan Peters as Quicksilver in this version.
Yeah,
but having no connection to the other studios, but knowing damn well that that once you do that, everybody's gonna be theorizing and jumping to, of course, the next one's Multiverse of Madness. This is how it's gonna be done.
It was a great big trick. It was just a big
I don't think that was cool. I don't think that was cool for Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be in trouble. I don't think anyone's gonna hold them to it. But I don't think that's very cool. Because they know people are going to be theorizing.
It was a huge fake out. It was, it was just a huge fake out. You know what it reminds me of is Spider-Man Far From Home, when they brought in Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, and at the beginning of the movie, he's like, oh yeah, I'm from this other version of Earth, and all of this stuff. Like, and we all thought, oh my god, now this is the multiverse. Like, this is the introduction of the multiverse. And that was a trick. He just made it all up. The Mysterio character had just made it all up because anybody will believe anything. And
that one I give a little more leeway to, or a lot more rather, because Mysterio, the character himself, is a trickster. So if you are aware of the comics, not everybody is, but many people are aware of this kind of character, and so him saying whatever he's spitting out to Spider-Man, it should be taken with a grain of salt. Just knowing this character, from the cartoons and previously, but yes. So, but this one, it's more than just the in MCU world. This is actual Disney and Fox Studios mergers and plans to eventually. This is going to happen eventually. They will bring the X-Men in one form or another, so they know this is going to happen. And then to do it this way, knowing fans are going to theorize and jump to conclusions, because it's not a far leap. It's a skip to that conclusion.
It's a little hop. It's a little hop, James.
They really push you to that conclusion. It's not even a willing or a free thing to do. They just push you onto that ledge. That I didn't like. What about you? But I have one or two other things.
I was kind of hoping that Agatha and Wanda would kind of join forces at the end, or that Agatha would have more of a clear role, moving forward, because I love that character so much. But she was ultimately outsmarted by Wanda, who threw up the runes, and then she is trapped. She is trapped in Westview as the Agnes, the nosy neighbor character, until Wanda needs her. So she's still alive, and she still exists, and she's still there. So I can see maybe them revisiting her in the future if Wanda needs something.
Definitely.
But Wanda has something of a lot of value that she's now taken from Agatha, and that is the Book of the Damned. So she has the Book of the Damned, and then going to one of the after credit scenes, because there were 3 of them, we see that Wanda's kind of settled in the middle of nowhere in a little cabin in the woods, and she's astral projecting. She's reading the Book of the Damned. She's learning more about what it means to actually be a witch. And so in that way, Agatha is a great foil. She is developing this character of Scarlet Witch. She pushed her to become a fully actualized Scarlet Witch. But I still want to see more of Agatha. She also made a really an interesting... there was something really interesting that she had said in all of this confrontation, was that Scarlet Witch is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. That's a direct Doctor Strange reference. So that's going to be really interesting. That leads perfectly, right into the next Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as we know.
I could see them maybe teaming up in the new Doctor Strange movie, because I did like how there wasn't an extra bad. I personally didn't like. Let me rewind. I liked that Agatha was the main villain in the series. I didn't think there was a bigger... Maybe there is down the road, but in this series, I'm glad that there wasn't like a bigger bad. And I didn't really see Wanda and Agatha joining forces, because I thought Agatha, again, she cares about herself and she wants that power. And so I figured she's in it on her own. And I didn't really see a bigger bad, at least in this episode. But I could see her coming back in Doctor Strange, the sequel, because Wanda, obviously she's learning to use these or learn the Scarlet Witch powers. I think she may go back to Agatha for reference, maybe more information, and maybe, give her a second chance to, what, at the final battle or in whatever you can imagine, she needs Agatha to step up, and maybe Agatha does step up, and I can see that happening. But I'm glad that they kept it kind of simple with Agatha being the main driving force, against Wanda.
And Hayward was easily defeated. And so at the very, very, very,
by
very
Darcy.
end. Yeah,
an ice cream truck or whatever.
Have fun in prison. That was great. So at the very, 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 very end, while Wanda is astral projecting as the Scarlet Witch and looking at the Book of the Damned, we hear the voices of her children. We hear Billy and Tommy, who they, she very emotionally had to say goodbye to as the hex was coming down, and they tucked them in one last time. So I believe that Billy and Tommy do exist, that they are in some ways real, but they still exist inside of her, and that she's going to be, that she's trying to get them. She's trying to bring them back, and I think that could be a really great motivator in the Doctor Strange movie that I'd really like to see the completion and fruition of. Because, man, I'm a mom. Where are the kids? Bring back the children. So that's I'm just really excited about that and looking forward to that. So like I said, overall, WandaVision, so much more than I was expecting. What are we going to watch now, James? What's next?
So I'm very close to finishing season 3 of Cobra Kai. So Cobra Kai, get on that. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's so good. It's so funny. It's you get a mix of nostalgia from the Karate Kid. If you have watched it or not, they have flashbacks. The young actors, the older actors that came back, everyone's great. Watch Cobra Kai. So I'm watching that right now. What about you?
Well, I'm looking forward to the next Marvel series. I know Loki is coming up. There's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's just going to be interesting to see how they all tie into to each other. Like I said in the last episode, Kevin Feige has his offices, he has all of the directors of all of these projects in the same building and on the same floor with him, so he can just walk across the hall and say, ooh, this can tie into this, and tie into this, and that. I love that.
Have we done this yet? Yeah.
Have we done that yet?
Is this person still alive or no?
And then other than that, James, I just hope that I get some time to watch something that is for me and is not just the wheels on the bus go round and round, or Blippi or Boss Baby, because the kids
Blink twice if you need help.
Help! Send help! Do you know a night nurse? I'm gonna put up my Venmo, or I'm gonna start one of those sites to raise money for the night nurse, so that I can get a few hours of sleep. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine, James.
It'll be fine. But yeah, let us know what you think about WandaVision. Did you like the whole series, or the season finale, the series finale? Do you think there will be a season 2? Because even though the last episode was named or titled series finale, they could always do there's a second one coming out. So what did you think? Were you happy?
Yeah. What were your favorite parts? What were your least favorite parts? What are your theories going forward into the next MCU projects? Are you excited for it? Are you enough already? We want to know. So let us know.
Stop interconnecting everything.
Yeah. So we're Hub on Hollywood. Search Hub on Hollywood. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on the podcast services. We're on YouTube. Join us.
Yeah, give us a like.
Like us, share us. Gotta have us, like us, gotta have. I forget how it goes.
Like us, love us, gotta have us.
There we go. Don't sue us. And I guess until next time, James. We'll see you then. Until next time. I'm Jamie.
I'm James.
And I'm Jamie. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye. I'm so tired. Okay, bye.